Bonjour, bonjour, ladies and gentlemen, Mary Chrysler. I have a very important video for y'all because I want to talk about what's going on with Terra Luna and whether or not it makes sense to be paying attention to Terra Luna right now. With this thing having a massive parabolic rally, I'm sure there's a lot of new people, probably paying attention to what's going on with Terra Luna right now. So I want to take a bit of a nuanced technical analysis approach onto whether or not it makes sense to be paying attention to Terra Luna. If you like the sound of that, if you want to find out more, share my thoughts on whether or not I think it's a good time to be considering Terra Luna, then make sure you like and subscribe, watch the whole video until the end, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Without further ado, let's talk about what's going on. So folks, look, this thing has had a obvious massive parabolic rally. So does it make sense to be looking at this thing right now? Well, we have Bitcoin showing some strength, Ethereum showing some strength as well. So maybe it makes sense to be looking at altcoins. And while I would agree with that, what I would say is that I would not prioritize a chart that looks like this, folks. Something that we got to consider is that even though we have macro higher highs, higher lows, and therefore an uptrend and the potential to continue going up, and with Bitcoin showing strength, we also have the more bullish confirmation and the potential for upside with these altcoins are very real. So I don't want to FUD anyone out of their position, but what I do want to bring people's attention to is the 12-hour chart on our indicators here, where if we look at the price action here and line up these peaks on the 12-hour RSI with the price action, you see this peak in the RSI lines up with this price action here. We have lower lows in RSI paired with higher highs in price action, which is bearish divergence. It's telling us the uptrend is running out of momentum. So I would want to caution people that we are seeing signs with Terra Luna that it perhaps makes sense to de-risk. And just to show you guys the power of this kind of bearish divergence, let's take a look at Bitcoin's price action. Because folks, when people say, TA is useless, how do you know when to really buy or sell? I would say that TA is extremely useful, and there's always signs, folks. There's always signs of an upcoming pump. There's always signs of an upcoming dip. And I want to zoom in on Bitcoin's price action here before the May massive sell-off where everyone panicked and was talking about a bear market. So we had, what did we have here? We had higher highs in price action. See, each peak here lines up with these peaks in RSI. So we had higher highs in price action paired with lower highs in RSI, folks. And eventually momentum kept running down. And after we had trend reversal here with our first lower high and lower low, we had a massive sell-off in May. So folks, that bearish divergence is that first sign of weakness. And then once you have that sign of trend reversal, that's when folks, that it makes sense to de-risk. So with Terra Luna here being in a macro uptrend, and so therefore you want to bias the upside, and with Bitcoin and Ethereum showing strength, there's definitely a possibility for further upside with alts. What I would say though is we are seeing that momentum run out with Terra Luna, and so I would say if Terra Luna starts to get daily candles opening and closing below $75, in that case it would make sense to de-risk of Terra Luna, in my opinion, simply because we're seeing bearish divergence on a higher time frame, and we've seen what kind of price action can come when we see those signs of weakness on higher time frame indicators. So something to be aware of, folks. I don't want to FUD people out of their position. More so, I just want to bring attention to the factors you need to look out for when considering de-risking, and also when you want to be paying attention to things, folks. This is a sneak peek of our VIP disc group. Back in May, I was talking about buying Terra Luna at $5.50. Why? Because it had a massive crash. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody cared about it. And that's when you want to be paying attention, folks. Folks, how do you get that 100x? How do you get that 10x? How do you get, the massive, 1200% pump and rally? You get that by buying dips in things of high quality when nobody else is paying attention. For Terra Luna to have another 1200% pump from here is always theoretically possible, is unlikely in my opinion, especially with this bearish divergence. Again, I want to be careful not to FUD anyone out of their position. We are still in an uptrend. Bitcoin and Ethereum are still showing strength, so I would still bias the upside. I just want to make people aware that we're starting to see some signs of bearishness and some bearish divergence, which would lead me to not prioritize Terra Luna. But when it does make sense to prioritize Terra Luna is over here back when it had a massive sell-off. Nobody was paying attention. 84% down. but Terra Luna was of extreme high quality. I saw how much they were building in this ecosystem, and so that's when it makes sense to buy, folks. Not up here, because up here is where your risk is the highest and the reward is the lowest. Over here, after an 84% dump, well, it's presumably not going to go to zero. So if it's down 84%, it's already down the most of what could happen. So over here is when your risk is the lowest and the upside is the greatest. So I don't want to flood anyone. I don't want to flood anyone out of their position. I want to make this video just to say that this is the time where you want to be paying attention, folks, when nobody else is paying attention. Over here, when Bitcoin Crypto's talking about it and all the noobs in the world are FOMOing in, is probably not the best, the most ideal time to be looking at Terra Luna, folks. So look, guys, you know, if you want to support the channel, we do have calls like this in our VIP Discord group. It's not financial advice. We're not telling people to buy or sell. We're just letting people know what we're up to. If you were a VIP, just remember you could have been alerted to me buying Terra Luna at around the $5.50 range. And even if we just measure from $6, you know, this thing's up currently over 1,300%. So folks, make sure you like and subscribe. Go follow our Twitter, because I'm pretty sure I was mentioning on our Twitter as well. But if not, you know, we do have our VIP Discord group. You get access to our Patreon. Link for everything's down in the description below. Ultimately, folks, watch out for bearish divergence. The trend is ultimately still bullish. So as long as we hold on to $75, then the bulls can still remain in charge of the short term. What we want to look out for as well is a healthy Bitcoin and Ethereum. We are seeing a healthy Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I would still bias the upside, although I would just want to be cognizant of the signs of momentum, you know, winding down towards maybe a more bearish side. So something to be aware of, folks. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about my analysis down in the comments below. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Until next time, folks, take care.